those people, that person or those people that left. It's a message. And for, public figures who influenced and touched many, of course, that's, an even broader kind of canvas. It's a message that, is being sent to many for many reasons. So when I think about the people who lost their lives or lost their physical reflection in this realm, I think about the brave souls of these people at the metaphysical level. Because from that perspective, these people chose to leave this way. They said, we're going to have this event that's going to take us out of this particular realm, and it will have a message and numerous effects and be a catalyst for everyone's remembrance, everyone's reconnection, everyone's growth in consciousness. They chose to do that. Now, on another level entirely, there are a lot of brave souls who stepped in to help those who needed help, to protect those that needed to be protected. In this realm, they took the role of hero. And that's another kind of message that comes from, this event. So it's something that we can find a lot of meaning in as we reflect and think about what has changed over the past 15 years and what this one event sort of ushered in. And when we think about those things, we might think about the wars in the Middle East, the invasion of Iraq, the military actions in Afghanistan, the political machinations of the times, the heightened sense of fear, of insecurity, and the increased emphasis on well, for lack of a better word, spying, intelligence, in attempts to stop something like this from ever happening again. But I encourage you to think beyond that. Certainly those things happened, and certainly they've been talked about endlessly. But think about what happened beyond those things. What happened to our sensibility? What happened to our spiritual awareness, if you will? Think about how we've changed in the 15 years as a people. Dealing with fear, and that is exactly what this incident is born of. It's born of fear. And I'll talk more about that in a second. Dealing with fear always changes us. Focusing on your fears or confronting your fears always changes you. So fear can either build up barriers and, kind of symptoms of that are, again, heightened security, more and bigger weapons to protect oneself. When you're in fear mode, that can happen. But longer term, when you face your fears and see how you've come through them, and you begin to understand that what you're afraid of most is your own illusion. And what you're afraid of most is the unknown. And the unknown is represented in a variety of ways. But most importantly, the unknown is represented by the possibility of death. The idea that you will no longer be in your physical body with your people, able to, comfort or protect or live your life the way that you've lived it, in the way that it's lived in this world. And not knowing what or if or how anything comes after that. That's the real fear. That's the real fear we all face. And we all come to grips with that. And that is the moment through which we can raise consciousness and begin to understand the higher levels of our being. Now, I'm not saying we're all doing that right now. In fact, quite the opposite. A lot of people aren't or pulling away from it. But that's the process that we're in, as long as it takes. We are in the process of evolving past these fears. And the specter of fear and the terrorists who thrive and are sort of merchants of fear, that's an incredibly important role that they are playing in this drama or situation we've created. Because if you think about it, terrorists are presenting us with the deepest fears that we have. They are putting it front and center, right in our face. That's what they're doing. Under whatever flag that they fly, whatever belief system, some tortured version of Islam or something else. But that's what they're doing. And that's our opportunity to look at fear and recognize it for what it is. And just as I talked about at the top of the show, where we look at these disturbing situations and we go in them and we feel them and we take our energy from them, that's what we do with the fears that are being presented to us. And the more we're presented with these fears, and the more we do that kind of work, actually the faster we evolve out of our fear. Now, the world of terrorism that from which this incident came out of has changed quite a bit over the 15 years. We've gone from Osama bin Laden and Al Qaeda to now we have ISIS. Now, this is an evolution as well, and it's an evolution through and ultimately, I think, out of fear for these people. The desire underneath all of it, underneath all of these actions that they're taking, and it needs to be said that while we call these actions evil, and we call these people evil, like how could they do such a thing? What they are doing is not, they don't see it as evil. As people, we don't do things because we think they're evil. We do things because we think they're necessary and that we need to do them. And we do things out of a sense of our own perspective on things. These people did what they did because they believed they were righteous, not evil. Quite the opposite. They believed they were doing the Lord's work, if you will. And many still do think that. Same is true for ISIS. And you can say that that's a twisted belief system and all of that, and that's true, but that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about how these people see things. From their perspective, we're the evil ones. And if you're confronted with great evil, well, all bets are off, and anything you can do to stop that evil, to end that evil, you will do. And we have the same reaction when we see, things, people we think are evil. We have the death penalty in many states where we, kill people because of what they've done. Our reaction to terrorists that we caught, that again we believe they're evil, so it's certainly all right to torture them, even though we say we don't believe in torture and it's illegal internationally. But we do it anyway. Why? Because we feel we're justified in scouring this planet of evil thoughts and evil people. And as long as we're caught in that kind of perspective, it perpetuates what we're trying to actually get rid of. And there's a quote here from someone who was at the 15th anniversary celebrations at the World Trade Center that I think connects to this. And this is from a woman named, I want to get her name right, Granvalletta Kestenbaum. Her husband was an astrophysicist, Howard Kestenbaum, and he lost his life because of the 9/11 attacks. But here's what she had to say. She said, the things we think separate us really don't. We're all part of this one earth in this vast universe. We're all ordinary, and we're all special, and we're all connected. We waste precious time by thinking otherwise. We waste precious time by thinking otherwise. Let me say it again because I really like it. And it's just really, it's so appropriate that this is coming from the wife of an astrophysicist. I mean, they are more likely to have this kind of perspective than many others. The things we think separate us really don't. We're all part of this one earth in this vast universe. We're all ordinary. We're all special. We're all connected. We waste precious time by thinking otherwise.